Hello buddy, welcome to another video. Now something we've been to do for a while is a bit of an update on this, which is the Olympus 40-150 f2.8 Pro lens. Main reason being, seems to be a bit of a thing just lately, well probably over the last 6 months, the full frame lens of choice is 100-400. It seems to be everybody's getting one, and it seems to be the way forward. But this 40-150 with the 1.4 teleconverter is very similar range-wise, to the point of you might as well call it 100-400, but you're running at f4, so it's a nice fast lens. So just at Keswick at the moment, and frankly it's absolutely bloody gorgeous. So I'm going to rattle off a few shots around with this using the telephoto capabilities. Pop a couple up now. I'll have a quick chat about the setup for you. So as standard, you're running 40-150mm, which in full frame terms is 80-300. Drop the 1.4 teleconverter on, although you lose a stop, so you go down from f2.8 to f4, it's that across the range of 112mm to 420mm, so it's in that sort of range. And certainly for sort of conditions like we've got here at the moment, it's absolutely brilliant for it. So the main foreground is a little bit busy, there's quite a few people around, but we're picking out stuff over in the fells. We had a bit of snow last night, so there's bits on the tops that are looking quite pretty, the light's hitting things, and it works really nicely. Now the lens itself, 760 grams, which isn't particularly heavy at all for something, this level of sort of quality. Teleconverter weighs about sort of 130 grams as well, so you're not looking at a massive weight, but you're looking at a very clean f4 setup, which is really nicely done, and the images out of this are really good. Yes, your focus speed gets a little bit of an effect from dropping the teleconverter on, but if you're doing landscape, it's not much of a problem, so you can really just like shoot away and enjoy it. But I'm just going to grab another couple of snaps now, and hopefully move a little bit around and see what's happening down the Borrowdale end, because that's normally sort of quite a nice shot from here. So the settings that I'm running at the moment, basically f4. I want to isolate the subjects that I'm focusing on, so I don't really want a mad depth of field. It works quite well. I've fixed everything at ISO 200, so that's not a problem. And depending on where I'm sort of putting to with the light, I'm getting anything with like 0.002 of a second. Now this doesn't have sort of lens stability on it, so you're reliant on the body itself. But at this sort of range, it's not too much of a problem. I think if you push this on a 2-time teleconverter, you'd have a bit more of a problem with it, with the stability side. You'd have to push it a little bit harder. But certainly the 1.4, it copes with it without any issues at all, and gives us essentially a fantastic landscape lens when the conditions are quite nice. I mean, to be fair, f4, that's a fairly bright lens regardless, so yeah, even sort of the more dull conditions, you can get some great shots with this, I think. So if you do find yourself that you need a bit more reach, this is an actual really nice solution. I mean, if you didn't want to spend this much, you could even sort of use the standard 40-150. It won't give you the full sort of range, but Yeah, you're looking at sort of 80 to 300 in a very compact setup, and to be fair, the normal non-pro lens is really sharp. But certainly this f2.8 is an absolute blinder of a lens for doing this sort of thing. Especially when the light's playing like it is today. I mean, at the minute, they're just beautiful conditions. It's almost a shame that there's actually a lot of people around, because it'd just be an absolute playground. And we did have a little bit of mist earlier on, but the conditions really weren't right for it. But certainly now, yeah, I'd quite easily spend a couple of hours just out and about playing with it. I mean, when I'm using it as it is at the moment, I don't have the tripod collar on. I'm not using it on a tripod. It essentially just gets in the way. So all I've got is just a little sort of 3D printed collar, just sort of cover the studs that attaches to. But generally, yeah, the use of it, it's just like using the 12 to 100, just slightly bigger. But beauty of this, because it's internal zoom, it doesn't actually get any longer, no matter what your focal length is. So it's a very compact setup. I mean, to be fair, a third of that, I don't know if you can see down there, is actually just the lens hood. But on a bright day like this, I prefer to actually have the lens hood on, so getting rid of some of the glare. But yeah, it's really nice to use. There's no sort of real sort of bad traits with it. Would I like to have lens IS on there as well, synchronise up? Yeah, it'd be an absolutely amazing lens, but that's going to bump the cost up even more. I mean, these used now, they're not cheap, but they're cheap enough to get into if you're looking sort of for something like mid telephoto on the pro range. Now, these do work great for wildlife as well, but today really is just the test for a bit of landscape while the conditions are nice. What I'm going to do, I'll pop a few shots up now for you at the end as well. Some from Keswick. We're actually sort of heading down towards Patterdale as well, so there'll be a few little shots around sort of the Ullswater area that I'll take with this. And yeah, let me know what you think down below. Is it something you consider, you know, as a sort of carry around landscape lens, because it's not that heavy? You know, it just gives you that little bit of extra reach over something like the 12 to 100, and just makes it a little bit more versatile for you. But yeah, from a really nice Derwent Water in the Lake District, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care.